Hi, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Tonight I'm going to talk about fragrances that seem to be polarizing or somewhat controversial, and that is solely my opinion based on reading I've done and observations I made during the course of watching various YouTube content or other content on fragrances. And it seems like there's something of a theme going on with these fragrances. Different resources give different opinions on fragrances, right? It's all very subjective, but I found that these fragrances tend to pop up as people having strong feelings about them, I guess is fair to say. And I have these fragrances in my collection, so evidently I love them. I love them enough to have bought them for one reason or another, and I'll get into that. But there is something of a common theme amongst all of these, I've noticed. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you what I observed, and you let me know in the comments if you notice the same thing. So I do have some notes because there is no way I could possibly commit to memory the notes in these fragrances. And some of them aren't obvious to me because they're really well combined. And so I'll jump right in with the number one fragrance in no particular order. One of the fragrances that tends to be polarizing that I absolutely love, it's Chanel number 5. And this one is an EDT and it is 100 ml. I adore this stuff. I think it is absolutely stunning. Let me get a tester here. My attachment to it is as much a true love because I adore the fragrance as it is sentimental because it was the first fragrance that I can remember anyone gifting to me, and it was my grandmother. So now the fragrance notes in this: aldehydes, ylang ylang, neroli, citrus, obviously, iris, jasmine, rose, orris, lily of the valley, civet, musk, sandalwood, amber, moss, vanilla, vetiver, and patchouli. I think people, those who aren't fans, describe this as too mature for them. If I had to describe the opinions as I've understood them, please forgive me for over-explaining that this is my opinion and not based on anything other than my perception of other people's opinions, in fact. But I am a lawyer, so cut me some slack. I think this stuff is gorgeous. I think it's singular, and I absolutely adore it. Now, there is one, where is it? I think it's back here. Yeah. So this one is low Chanel number 5, and this one is a bit lighter if you find the original Chanel too severe. Now, I've owned many different strengths of this fragrance, and I find the Eau de Toilette works best for me. It's a powerhouse in my opinion. But if that's still too much, consider the low Chanel, and this one is, it's probably like, this is an Eau de Toilette too. This is a 50 ml. Sorry, the light keeps changing, but I promised I wouldn't be editing these videos anymore. So we're just gonna have to deal with the shifting light. This is much softer, much more muted. It smells a bit watery. It's like Chanel number 5 Eau de Toilette meets a nice water vibe. So I've heard some YouTubers really comment on how beautiful this is. I really wouldn't have picked it up if I hadn't heard about it from other YouTubers, and I just couldn't agree more that it's delightful. But I do think it's different enough to have both in my collection. But I think Chanel number 5 is absolutely wonderful. It's strong. And I think it takes a strong personality type to really own it, in the figurative sense of the word. And it does strike me as mature. But, my grandmother wore it. My grandmother gifted it to me many times, and there's just no way I'll ever be without it, and it is just a part of who I am. It's a part of my journey into womanhood, and it's with me forever. I absolutely adore it. I love it truly, and I think it smells great. Next is Windflowers by Creed. I have heard that people find this similar to another fragrance, and that may well be. I don't happen to have that other fragrance in my collection, and if you're curious about what the other fragrance is, you can look that up. But for me, this is a lovely, familiar, but lovely floral. It's jasmine, orange blossom, peach, I already said jasmine, rose, musk, tuberose, orange blossom, which God, there must be a lot of jasmine and orange blossom in this because I wrote them down twice. Iris and sandalwood. This is youthful, springtime, upbeat, energizing, lovely. It smells pink. It's wonderful. Very feminine, which, by the way, of course, Chanel No. 5 is very feminine too, but I just think this is wonderful. You know, like any fragrance, if there is something in your collection that is similar, then why buy a fragrance that you meaningfully have in another one? If it's duplicative, don't add it. But I think this is gorgeous, and I didn't have any other fragrance in my collection that smelled like it anymore. So I tried this. I loved it. The timing was right. And here we are. And this is, I want to say it's 100 ml. By the way, this is Creed, of course. Gorgeous stuff. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely Windflowers is worth a try. Next. I love this stuff. I got it as a gift. It's Electric Cherry by Tom Ford. So what I hear the most about this when people are less than complimentary is, why, after Lost Cherry, what's the point? And it's just, people, I've heard them say that it is a flanker that didn't need to happen. I totally disagree. I love this stuff. And of course, I love that it was gifted to me. And when I say gifted, you guys, I never mean PR. I haven't gotten any PR like ever. So this was gifted by my husband. He got me, he knew how much I loved Lost Cherry. So he got me Electric Cherry. He actually got me Cherry Smoke as well, but I haven't heard much buzz one way or the other about Cherry Smoke. But this is, so it's cherry, ginger, jasmine, pink pepper, musk, and amber. So I think the cherry ginger is really energizing in this. And it again, very youthful, kind of like Windflowers. They smell nothing alike, but that youthful, energizing quality. This is more summertime, evening, on a beach, maybe you're on vacation. It smells like summer. And it's nice and powerful, so, it's not something that's, gonna get, worn down by, just regular activity in an hour. You don't remember you smelled it. This stuff is good. I think it's excellent quality. It's universally likable, I think. It doesn't smell like anything I have in my collection. It's not overly sugary, cherry. It's got a lot of, to me, I pick up aldehydes in this. Or maybe it's molecules. Yeah, maybe more molecules and aldehydes. But I think it's beautiful. I love it, and I wear it in the summertime. It definitely leans feminine. I think it's great stuff. I don't know. Well, let me know what you think. I think it deserves love and not anything else. Moving on, we've got, where is it? Dun, dun, dun. Salome by Papillon. Okay. What I've heard about this is people either love it, or they really don't like it. I love it. This was a journey for me. At first, I was confused. Then I couldn't stop smelling it. And if you've ever smelled Salome, you know that's a little, there's an odd aspect. It smells very sexy. There is, you know, a ton of cumin in it. And I don't usually like cumin because to me, it smells of like sweat, like, you know, BO. This, it's oddly satisfying to say. It's one of those fragrances that, yeah, it's different. And you're not sure how gorgeous it is, but it's, you just can't stop smelling it. And then you want to smell it a lot. And so what you do is you wear it to bed because, you know, my husband's asleep usually by the time I get to bed. Not all the time, but sometimes. And so those are nice, I'll wear it. And I wear it just for me. Okay, so in it is a fair amount of animalics, cumin, and oak moss. Okay, and those are the things that really jump out and grab you by the throat on this. So it's hyrax, jasmine, carnation, tobacco, rose, orange blossom, castoreum, right? Cumin, oak, did I say oak moss already? Oak moss, whatever, hay, styrax, vanilla, and birch. Jasmine, animalic, and cumin. This woman has experience recently. And if you smell it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Whoa. But you just can't stop smelling it. There's something about it that is compulsive. You just can't stop. And I love it. I love it. It took me a while to come around to it, but I love it. By the way, this is probably 50 mil. I can't see on the bottle. It feels like more than 30 mil, less than 100 mil. So 50 mil most likely. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Okay, next. Youth Dew. Okay, this is by Estee Lauder, of course. This is 67 mil, and it's an eau de parfum. This also has strong sentimental value to me. This has been, in my opinion, heavily reformulated. If you could smell the original, you might just get it. It was extraordinary. Very strong, very rich. The way you're compelled to smell something like a pumpkin spice or a rich chocolate with liqueur in it at Christmas time, it doesn't smell like those necessarily. It definitely leans in that direction, but whatever makes you take that richness in and say, oh, wow, that's what this had. It was just, you wanted to smell more of it, even if it was on your grandmother. You just did. And now it's good. It's just watered down. A lot. The richness is not there anymore in this bottle for me. Now, could I have gotten a bad batch? Sure. I don't care. The faint hint of what it was enough for me. And the price these days is amazing. So hell yeah, I bought it. So the notes in this: cloves, cinnamon, rose, lavender, citrus, narcissus, jasmine, ylang ylang, lily of the valley, cassis, orchid, incense, tolu balsam, oak moss, Peru balsam, patchouli, amber, vetiver, vanilla, and musk. The edible richness of it, there was something, it was never a gourmand, but there was something chocolatey, and maybe it came from that patchouli mixed with the cinnamon. There was a really dense blackout cake feel to this with spice and a little bit of floral just to make it perfumey. It was gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. It really, really was. And my grandmother used to wear this and Chanel number 5. And I love it. And it will always remind me of her. And I will always keep it in my collection because of that. And I will always wear it because for me, a scent like this is more than just a fragrance. It is a memory. It is an experience. It is a point in time. And I've seen a lot of commentary from people out there saying the same thing about some of these fragrances. It just takes them back to a moment of warmth and love and people that impacted them very, very deeply. And that's what it is for me. So to me, this is more than a fragrance. It's an experience and an icon. And I won't be without it. Next, this is for my husband. This is Hera by Papillon. I think this stuff is amazing. My husband hates it. He hates it on me. He hates it from the bottle. He just hates it. I did a video on this a while ago talking about my husband just saying awful things about how it smelled. I think he's nuts. I think it's amazing. And it is. I've decided. Narcissus, orris, ambrette, jasmine, heliotrope, musk, rose, ylang-ylang, and orange blossom. It's a thick, heavy, rich, spicy, ambery, warm, gorgeous, enveloping, sexy, lovely fragrance, and very much has that Papillon DNA. And I absolutely love it. I don't know what he's talking about. He talked about like a chemical note, and I think he's crazy. I don't hear as much talk about Hera as I would have thought. It's very interesting to me. Papillon makes some real blockbuster fragrances. Really amazing house. You should check it out if you haven't. And this is an extrait. And I'm just surprised I don't hear more about it. I absolutely love it. And I tell my husband, hey, I'm wearing the Hera. And you're just going to have to, suck it up. No, I don't really say that, but I do warn him in advance. And I love it, and he's getting used to it. So we're finding our way. And then I think, is that the last one? No. The last one I don't have in my collection at all. I had a large sample, and it was Baccarat Rouge 540. Again, one that I hear, polarized opinions. People love it, love it, love it. People don't love it. For me, the reason I don't have it in my collection is because I smelled it too much. I got fatigue from it. Let me just say, I think it is a stunning fragrance. I love it. However, I have been in settings where it was so overwhelming. So many people were wearing it. I went to a concert in Las Vegas a few years back, and I swear it was just, it hit you. It was like a factory that did nothing but pump out Baccarat Rouge 540. Like every person in that auditorium was wearing a lot of it, or some kind of dupe. I don't know, but that was the end. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it anymore. I had that sample. I think I gifted it to someone. It was a large sample, maybe like a 5 ml, which isn't huge, but it was, very, very strong. I thought the performance was amazing. A little went a long way. So the notes for this are saffron, jasmine, amberwood, heliodone, ambergris, fir cedar, ambroxan, and oak moss. I think it is, again, really beautiful, singular, iconic. It's really, a masterpiece. But for me, it was just too everywhere. So I haven't added a bottle to my collection, but it's beautiful. And I think it's possible that when people criticize it, a lot of the time it may just be because it's overdone by so many people. I think they overspray. It can be very, very powerful. And I think that's the reason for it. The last fragrance I also don't have a bottle of in my collection, and I did not write down the notes for good reason, because it's by the way, it's Amouage Guidance. I don't like this fragrance, but I have found descriptions of it to, again, be somewhat polarizing. For me, this isn't something I'll add to my collection. I have been testing it for years, and I just can't get there. I don't know why. I don't get what other people get from this, from the descriptions I hear and what I read. I don't get it. No criticism. People love this, and I'm a firm believer that, when people have strong feelings about something, it's for good reason. But this one, I just can't. I've tried it on my skin. I've tried it on paper. I've let it sit. I've let it, macerate. I've had samples that I've let sit around for a while, to try and mature or whatever. And it's just not for me. I get it. It's hey, I try never to say anything negative, but it's just not for me. It's unusual, and something about it keeps me testing it. So that must mean something, but this is one that is just not, it's not for me. But I'm so intrigued by the love for it that I keep testing it. Maybe that's it. Anyway, let me know what you think of these fragrances. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I noticed a theme, with the exception of the Amouage Guidance, for which I did not write down the notes. The theme I noticed is, with these very polarizing fragrances, there are a lot of notes. Most of the fragrances that I own and that I test and that I hear talked about that are loved universally, almost universally, have a lot fewer notes. Do you think that plays into it at all? Do you think that it's like the idea that when you have too many choices, there are too many options in front of you, it actually makes you upset, it's confusing, it's overwhelming. Maybe that's what's going on an olfactory level. Maybe there are just too many notes in some of these, and it just makes people pull away. Those who do pull away, those who love it, just, dive right into it. But those who don't love it, they pull away, they recoil. What do you think it is? Again, I think these are absolute treasures. Of course, I respect everyone's opinion, and it's all in good fun. I love hearing some of the, hysterical commentary on what people say and hearing the opinions themselves. It just really is entertaining, and I think it keeps it nice and light in the FragCom community. I think that's what it should be about. It should be about, a common love of fragrance and appreciation for fragrance-based art. Whether a particular fragrance is for you or not doesn't mean you don't appreciate the artistry of it and you don't respect other people's opinions. So no matter where you land, I'd love to hear respectful commentary about these fragrances. And if you think that there's something about Amouage that I'm just not understanding, tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And this was a lot of fun to do. Keep it positive, keep it kind, please. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.